Previously on Speedway Squad.
Kandahar. High noon. Wind's blowing. Where are you?
Is it wrong to say I'm excited? Is it putting too much pressure on people?
There's no rules here.
You know, when you're carrying a gun all the time, you think about using it.
I learned something that you may not have been told due to morale reasons.
I could totally do that job.
I can say that. People fuck up.
We're gonna take care of this guy.
The operation was successful. I just want to let you know that.
You know, it's the realistic application of limited resources.
We have a man down.
Both of their hands blown off and both of their eyes damaged, irreparably blind.
Narwhals are overcompensating.
What I can't figure out about narwhals is that their tusk is actually a tooth.
Yeah, gone all goofy.
It's one tooth. So why wouldn't there be like fangs? Two.
Do they use it for anything?
Tusks. Opening beer, probably.
I think they use it for like just poking the shit out of each other when the chicks come.
Gotcha.
And when they're...
Although they have an Inuit kebab that is delicious. They get a seal in between each one, and then, you know, there's then they go a little south to get a couple sea turtles on there.
That's right. No vegetables. That ruins a kebab.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
All meat.
And plus, the leather's already been chewed, so they're halfway there.
True story.
Have you ever seen the Inuit, Doug?
Yes, I have. I noticed you're
all of them
at
at once.
You're looking at my double beer crotch here, I see.
Yes, you're loaded for stage 1 and stage 2.
Just in case I run out of this beer, I just need the security beer on standby.
That's fine.
I had a friend in high school who always obsessively talked about, what is it, diphallic terrata or something? Like men who were born with two penises. And I wondered...
And narwhals only have one tusk? What's the deal?
Weird, huh?
So in answer to your question, Bob, yes, I have seen an Inuit from time to time.
Have you seen one with two dicks, though? Huh?
No.
We call those people sprinkler heads.
Because we talked about penises last episode, and I was really uncomfortable.
Micro and macro.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just telling the truth, man.
Although, Chris, you did throw a total, confusion. You cast a confusion ray among the crowd when you
Yes.
you used the words micro and macro as though they were interchangeable.
I did. I misspoke. I listened to the show and I used micro. I used macro when I meant micro.
Yeah. But I enjoyed the confusion and
it
pandemonium that ensued.
If you don't mind the pun, it enhanced.
So, anywho's, I was thinking, one time, I wanted to tell this story.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to do with Inuit or narwhals.
Okay, I'm going to turn your mic off.
It has a little bit to do with narwhals.
We have a quota, Doug.
It's an ocean-based story.
Those are my favorite.
And,
well, there's a
my lovely
70%
wife, Abby,
chance
and I-
that it would be an ocean-based story.
What's that?
It's a 70% chance most stories would be ocean-based.
Based on the surface of the Earth, yes.
Yes, correct.
Yes, assuming it's a...
That's how we break stories
an Earth
down.
story.
Land-based, feet wet or feet dry, as the military
So this is a
says.
feet wet-based story. My lovely wife Abby and I were vacationing in Kauai, and
She's going to be on next week.
it's true. And we were staying at this place in Hanalei, which is famous for their fish. You know, lots of Hawaiian fish, and they have a fish market. And so we decided one night we got this barbecue in our condo, and we decided, all right, we're going to stop at this fish market. And there's, they got maki-maki, they've got ahi tuna, they've got the whole 9 yards, and they're all like really expensive.
That's a long fish, by the way.
They're all
9
really,
yards.
yeah, it is true, very expensive fish. And
Did they have langoustines?
I don't know.
Just asking.
So the
Guppies? They have guppies?
we're looking up at the list, and there's this one called walu. And we think, Walu, what the heck's that? And it's half the price of the other fish, so we're
It's got to be good.
it's good. That's not a.
Is that
a
the seafood
sign.
version
I don't know what it
of
is.
pimento loaf or something?
But the it
cheese.
says oily, buttery, great for the grill, and that's exactly what we want to do. So we get to the front of the line. Yeah, we'll have some Walu, and they don't bat an eye. Sure enough, we'll fire you up some Walu. Sure you go. You want those as steaks or do you want those as fillets and whatever? Fine. And the couple behind us ordered some Walu, and off we went. And we grilled the crap out of it, and it was awesome fish. Totally fucking amazing fish. Like, we are beside ourselves in joy as to how good this fish was. And I've decided right then and there that I am going to introduce this fish. I had a few drinks. I am going to introduce this fish to the common people.
Yeah,
everything I am now in the Walu import-export business.
I'm a Walu man.
Everything was going fine until you had access to the internet, I'm sure.
And then I accessed the intertube.
Go. Oh, I'm waiting.
It's the last 12 feet of whale colon.
It's like 10:30 at night, and like I said, I had a few drinks. So Abby's brushing her teeth, and I'm just over the corner on the computer, and here it is. Here it is. It's Walu. All right, here we go. Also known as the Hawaiian butterfish. Oh, that sounds nice. Hawaiian butterfish. That's good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Or sometimes called the escolar. And I don't know what that
sounds
means.
exotic, but tough. It sounds like it's like
the
escolar,
escolar.
man.
That's
I
right.
introduce you to the fish, yes. And then
Don't
there's...
fuck with the escolar.
First you
And
get the
then-
money, then you get the power, then you get the escolar.
That's true. Or sometimes it's called the X-lax fish.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
And that was a bit of a
That's a departure.
I wish I had my record player here because I'd go.
and then there's the Hawaiians call it the maku'u'u, which literally means, as translated, exploding intestines.
Oh, boy.
Oh, the searing cramps fish. The double over fish. Oh, my
I hope
God.
you had more than one bathroom in your condo.
Right.
Fish.
Are you done in there yet, fish?
So we settled in for a long winter's nap, eyes wide open, and waited.
You've just eaten a time bomb.
So fortunately, and actually we read on about people like to tell their stories online for some reason, about people who had their whole vacation ruined because they had the escolar
Smoothie.
pan fry at the whatever thing.
And it didn't help that Abby had challenged you to a macadamia nut eating contest as well earlier in the day.
True.
I bet you can't eat 200 macadamia nuts. Wash it down with cod liver oil.
It's like a human shotgun.
So then day broke.
Wait, had it taken effect yet?
And we looked at each other, and we were like hostages who had been, set free. We had survived the night. It was a miracle, and everything was fine.
until you had coffee, cigarettes, and bran muffins.
Not the end of the story.
Time release.
Moving forward.
Cut to late lunch.
Cut to hanging 10 on the biggest wave on the North Shore. This is amazing. This is the best moment of my life.
Cut to throwing your new shorts away.
So moving forward, say 10 hours to the early evening that the following day, we're in the supermarket chatting away. Oh, well, maybe we should get some of this for dinner. Maybe we should get some of that. And all of a sudden, I kind of lost connection with the world. And Abby looks at me, what's going on? I believe I just had an Olestra moment.
Oh,
You just stared at her and gasped, Escolar.
unhappy ending in aisle 3.
And so what I didn't tell you when I was reading about this thing is that it's the indigestible oils that, like Olestra, that flash in the pan that never paid off.
It doesn't leave any. Yeah, it just goes
right through you.
Straight through the channel and
Like mineral oil.
Yeah. So I excused myself and tidied up, and and we drove back to the place, and that was kind of that, except that, like, the thing is that people fart, right?
I don't know who you're hanging around with, but okay.
Well, yeah.
So
is that your professional opinion?
As a doctor, you're saying
in a survey done, so the thing is that, and sometimes you fart in your sleep.
Oh no!
So I was wearing my pajama bottoms,
which are no longer on this planet.
So you had power assist gas.
And and then one of the things is that we were in this condo, and it's not really like there's no desk or anything, so we have the laptop sitting on a counter, and we have the coffee table pulled up, and a little sofa cushion on the coffee table. So boop-a-doop-a-doo, I'm up after sleeping in my pajama bottoms because I didn't want to keep the danger inside, and I plunked down on the sofa cushion, and it's on the thing, and I'm checking my emails and whatnot. And
I'll just sit on this rare tapestry.
Like, oh, I see. So there's this giant, greasy patch on the back of my PJs, which is now.
Did you have some
infiltrated the sofa?
Some wallow transfer?
Oh yeah, and it was sort of like if you take like say popcorn topping, and you were to mix it with like herring.
Oh boy.
So anywho, there was some bummy fish oil on the furniture.
So you went back to the seafood place and whatever that name is for the fish. So what's its name for everyone?
Absolutely, I'm buying. And the final straw, or the final
stain,
the final vision of the Waloo going off into the spiral toilet was that when I finally had the definitive movement, when I finally had the definitive movement, it was, like hamburger grease, like when it cools, it gets all orange and like little pucks.
Do I?
Yeah.
Yes.
So there were like 50 little dime-sized pucks that had just like hit the toilet bowl and solidified immediately.
Wow.
And we're just like sitting there.
You gotta be kidding.
Well, they were liquid, and then they hit the water, then they turned into pucks.
Yeah. It's like a shot tower. They used to make lead balls. They'd have like a huge tower, so they'd drop a piece of hot lead.
Yeah.
And it would form into a little globe by the time it hit the bottom. So you're a human shot tower.
So that's the tale of why I am not independently wealthy as a fish importer.
Well, speaking of greasy stains on underwear, my name's Bob. I'm here with Jordan.
Hello.
And Chris.
Hey.
And, of course, my brother, who apparently
stains Fugger.
may have better control of his faculties this week. Am I correct, Doug?
So far, so good. I notice you have a stain-resistant leather sofa. So I'm
any sort of markings and otherwise will come whisking away off the...
Because what Doug didn't mention is he can't stop eating it either.
That's wicked awesome fish.
Oh, I can't stop eating the Waloo.
It's worth it.
Well, another thing they didn't tell you is it's nature's Viagra.
Oh,
it's
that's
a toss-up.
true.
That's
you can go all night, but then you go all night.
Right, yeah.
If you time it right.
Not for the other person.
Whoa! So
that logo that you had done up out of a neon sign that said Esco Bar, because you were going to open up that nightclub and serve nothing but Waloo.
Waloo cocktails.
That's $1,000.
Well, he almost hit enter on his transfer from his account to his that guy's.
That's right.
Swiss bank account.
It was in my shopping cart, but I didn't check out completely.
Yeah.
Didn't confirm transaction.
Thank God you got that stomach cramp. Bye. Just I better hold off on that for 1 second.
I'd like to say that according to my limited research, it affects about 50% of consumers, and I was the 50%.
Whether they eat it or not.
Abby got through absolutely unscathed and scot-free. True
I was
going
to ask, not that I really wanted to hear about your wife's body department, but
didn't.
I thought that you were sort of cautiously avoiding that, and out of respect for the female, I thought I won't taint her golden image by talking about
anyway, moving on. So
you said taint.
The one thing
Abby did have a crate shipped home though to slip into your coffee while you weren't paying attention though.
So a curious thing is that Abby and I think this is hilarious. This whole Walu ass adventure,
And you're right.
and like it's awesome. Like okay, it was uncomfortable, but it was funny. Like beginning, middle,
It's
end.
worth it for the story.
Absolutely, and we've told this story. Well, this is probably like the third or fourth time now, but previously and consistently, it just doesn't fly. Like, people get uncomfortable.
Oh, it doesn't
It's like,
go
no,
over?
listen, it's funny. There was like this orange fishy oil coming out of my ass. It's awesome.
Sound of
doesn't-
forks
and-
hitting the
And
plates.
people just kind of...
Oh, come.
And this isn't, like talking to strangers at church. This is
Which I do constantly.
people who we thought it would think it was funny, and they just don't get
Well, to
it.
quote your wife from having spoken to her on a previous occasion, most people are ass shy, which is a great. Has now entered my lexicon.
I'm going to get T-shirts done up. I'm not ass shy.
Which is weird because my ass is very outgoing. I always put my best ass forward.
It's funny what you mentioned about people getting awkward about stuff because I was in Los Angeles a couple weeks ago.
That made me feel awkward because I wasn't there.
Yes. And I was at this party hosted by the people I was with, and we were sitting around. Everyone was drinking and talking, and I think something came up about
doing line after line of crystal meth.
Home Depot or Lowe's Hardware or whatever. The fact that what's his name?
Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman does the voiceover for it, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I go, and they're all talking about how much money do you think he makes and blah, blah, blah. And it must be awesome to work with.
They paid him in MDF.
Yeah. So
There you go, Gene. Don't eat it all at once.
So I go, everyone's talking about how awesome, it's weird how you have an actor like that, all the great films he's been in and blah, 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 doing all this voiceover stuff.
He was Lex Luthor, man.
And out of nowhere I scream, Miss Tessmacher!
Oh, excellent.
Nobody got it.
Yeah. Oh.
Like it was dead silence in the room, and I'm like, you guys never saw Superman?
Yeah. Anybody?
I mean, I know Gene Hackman done some great things in his life.
Proud,
I went right for Superman.
Yeah, and
Anyone? No?
they were the Wes Anderson crowd.
Yeah, I was just
God, yeah. Yeah, even if you'd done like a French Connection pull or something.
Yeah, I
I
know,
would
like-
have stared at you blankly.
But that's the thing about some actors. They've done these great things in their life, right?
Thank you.
They've got these. Thank you. Yeah. But they're always known for that one goofy role or the one stinker,
Yeah, sure.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Ishtar.
From Beyond.
Yeah. No, but like you got Gene Hackman who's done some great stuff, and then he's plays this shit role as Superman. Like seriously, that movie. It's a cool show when you're 12, but you rewatch it, it's really lame.
Oh, yeah.
You mean an effects-driven movie
wife
didn't
and
age
I-
well?
Yeah.
No.
Shocking. The wife and I just watched Superman 2 with...
That's Superman as well.
Yes. With Terrence... What's his name?
Stamp.
Terrence Stamp prancing about like a I don't even...
Oh, yeah,
can't
yeah,
even
right,
describe
right.
how
He was
super
in that.
ponce, I suppose. But even as goofy as it is, Christopher Reeve is...
He does a good job.
He's fucking awesome as Superman.
It's true.
I'm sorry. He just manages to outshine everything else. If you could just kind of cut him out with an X-Acto knife and build another movie around him. Like
What was
if they
Terrence
should ever
Stamp
do a
in that
special
made
edition
him
of a
famous?
movie, just pull him out, Christopher Reeve, and just reshoot the whole thing and then just drop him in through the rest of it. Although you can keep...
Terrence Stamp was pretty good in that, though, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. I don't mean to shit on him because he did do a good job. I just the whole.
We can put Andre the Giant in for that other guy.
Hey, I would
Paul
suggest that in addition to perhaps cutting Christopher Reeve
Richard
out
Keel.
and reshooting the whole movie, you could also cut Christopher Reeve out and insert him into other movies just to make them better.
Superman show up.
Driving Miss Daisy and Superman.
Yeah. Well, you might have been able to save Daredevil.
Yeah.
I
crossover,
actually
a Marvel
kind-
DC
Yeah,
crossover.
I actually kind of like Daredevil. I watched it on Space on a Saturday afternoon, and I had no expectations.
Yeah,
And
I
it
felt
was-
the same way about 2 weeks' notice.
I sort of liked it.
She didn't want to fall in love with him.
She fought it all the way.
Boy, howdy. So, I have
do you
a
got?
clipping.
Oh my God, he's got
Remember we
newspapers.
talked previously about
being off mic.
people's last known photo?
Oh
yes.
yes.
Look at look at this photo and then the headline.
Okay, do I have to scan this in and then put it on the internet?
I don't care.
I should though.
Yes.
Who's the photo of?
Some random girl.
Oh, son of a bitch! Is that her real black eye?
I don't know, but it's
Or
a
is that
real.
a sweat stain?
It's probably a sweat stain.
Yeah, don't elaborate or anything.
Okay, here's the deal. I'm going to post this, ladies and gentlemen, because we had talked last week about
Yeah, I just got it wet. She doesn't really have a black eye.
about your death image, right?
Yeah.
You're either not the one we talked about you killing Jack Ruby, you killing Oprah, right?
No,
We're
your
talking
grad
about-
photo or
we're
your
talking
picture
about
at Senior
when-
Frogs.
Yeah, when kids go
when
missing,
when you're on the news.
Topless at Senior Frog.
yeah, when a kid goes missing, they find the picture of his grad. But when a douchebag from Oklahoma goes missing, it's usually him half drunk at a party.
Yeah, with his
This
shirt
woman
off.
here has died in Canada, in Guelph, Ontario.
And
as I
she's
recall.
like 14. She's a
14,
kid.
14 years old girl, and the picture they're putting in the newspaper is this goofy Facebook shot they pulled of her like mugging for
River
the camera,
rafting.
Yeah,
river
yeah.
rafting.
Making a big woo face.
Wearing a helmet and having a black eye.
I'll put it on the internet, but it's just that's one
I know.
picture you got to have that stoic sort of I died doing what I love.
I thought the clipping you were passing around was David Carradine. Actually, I'm like, this is the final photo of him.
Oh,
Well, I looked at the
nobody
picture.
needs that webcam.
But the thing is that she died in a wall collapse, nothing to do with her river rafting.
Yeah, and
No, she was in the bathroom and the wall fell in.
And the wall was only 5 years old.
What wall?
It was a bathroom wall, a cinder block
block
bathroom
wall.
School?
and
Fell
it just
over.
fell over and killed her.
it was like a community. What do you call those things? Like a sports area,
Right.
At the park.
You know where you have a soccer
Like a little
field and a
public
baseball
washroom at the
diamond.
park.
She
Yeah,
was going to the bathroom and it just fell over.
yeah. Building just fell on her.
Well, I'd say something, but Chris might get me for the Simpsons police. First it started to fall over, and then it fell over.
I'm staring knives at you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So another caution then to Speedway Squad listeners: make sure that your photo library is up to date, and maybe, as a hint, maybe for Facebookers, you should put a little star
In
or
the
an
event
asterisk.
of my
In the
death.
event of my
In the event of my
death, use this picture.
Yeah.
So
Take the picture of me on the run for cancer, not when I'm like, changing a tire drunk with my shirt off.
Not that picture from '87 you took doing your girlfriend in the back of your '87 Chevette.
this is him humping the wooden tulip at the garden at the beach, and not that I'm speaking from experience. So two things I wanted to say is one, Abby and I have had this discussion that if I die in a fiery car blaze at an off ramp, there is no frickin' lame ass
Roadside memorial.
Roadside memorial.
Thank you.
But there's nothing I care less about than a litter pile with a cross on it by the side of the road. And
I don't care how much ass your friend kicked. Absolutely. You don't have to fucking staple his soggy picture to a poorly made
right.
cross on the side of the number one. You don't have to.
Remember
do
how
it.
much he used to drink, man?
Yeah. He died doing what he loved best. Upside down in a ditch, drunk out of his mind. Now, we're not talking about any specific roadside memorial. We're talking about all of them. They all suck.
Well, the only one I can endorse, sorry to cut you off, is the one in Chilliwack where the drunk guy stole a plane from the community airport, the janitor, and crashed into the highway. And there's still a big black scorch mark from where the plane exploded.
That's all you need.
I'll give him that.
that's
Only
enough of
because
a
every time I
memorial.
drive by it, I laugh like a schoolgirl.
that's good for him,
You went out on a bicycle.
So anyone who's ever attended a roadside memorial or stapled shit up, just stop doing it. Do it somewhere else.
Yeah, you can make much better tribute to the ones you love than by throwing another piece of cellophane wrapped cheap flowers into the heap.
Yeah, the thing is, you endanger your own life by going out there to put flowers on
That's
it.
what
It's
I
the
always
middle of
wondered.
a freaking highway.
That's what I always wondered. You're on. It's a
Jeez.
4-lane highway.
Yeah, how do they get there?
And who's stepping out of the car? Where are they parking for one? And then two,
Are there refreshments?
yeah, someone
Is
better
there
have
a
bought
vendor?
cooler.
That's
Is
right.
there a hot
Who's
dog vendor
catering
there?
this?
The dead possum in the ditch is catering.
All you need is people that are laying the roadside memorial to be mowed down by a tractor trailer.
Yeah. No, it happens.
yeah.
Resulting in more
Yeah.
roadside memorials.
Oh my God! Soon everybody would be in the roadside memorial.
Would be
Yeah.
there.
It'd just be a mountain of bodies.
When I took my
perpetual
one-day
motion machine.
emergency first aid program, the first thing they tell you is that when you arrive on scene, look around. Maybe have a look around because the hazard might still be happening. You know, the
Yes.
crane might still be swinging around uncontrollably.
The T-Rex
Power
might be
might still be
rampaging.
onto that live wire.
Yeah. So before you ask, "Are you okay, buddy?" I mean, just have a look around. You know.
That's right.
The gunman might still be in the tower.
Yeah.
So
Charles Whitten Jr.
another thing I wanted to say.
Escobar.
Oh, it's Escolar, but
I like
you know,
Escobar. better.
Escobar is better because
I'm
it
going
sounds
with
like
Escobar.
Pablo Escobar.
We've co-opted.
Escobar. It's like Rosebud. So the other thing is that when
Rosebud, right out of your rosebud, buddy.
when we were training to go to Afghanistan, one of the things you have to do is
You mean
get
Camp
your,
Scimitar's Edge, right?
Yes, Camp Scimitar's Edge. Or Kandahar Airfield.
Kandahar
Where is it?
substation.
It's in Kandahar. What is it? It's an airfield.
Way to go, Canada.
Brief aside, did you know that Madison Square Garden is not in Madison, nor is it square, nor is it garden? It's a hockey arena in New York, and it's round.
You're
So,
messing with my mind. brother.
You have to get your newspaper shot taken.
Oh,
So you get you get your uniform on, you make sure your hair is straight, you put your hat on, and you go sit and you get these professional photographs taken. That
Your dead shot.
Your death photo.
you're like, this is so and so who got exploded, and
man.
and here you are. But
Wow.
it wasn't.
Do you get
I thought it might
how
be
many
kinda-
wallet size do you get with that?
Well, nothing. And that's
All
the
that
thing.
work and you don't even get prints of it?
I really wanted some. I was like, wow, I look awesome in that picture. How can I get some? Well, you have to die.
Yeah.
No,
You could fake your
son
own
of a
death.
conundrum.
As long as there's no after photo. Because those are the before
Yeah.
photos.
Yeah.
What if you lose a limb? Do they have a different one for that?
That's the drunken one in the mess tent.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all the hazing photos.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Start getting branded with a glowing
So-
hot something.
I'm the king of filling all my spare time with shit I shouldn't be doing. And
Are you opening a meth lab or something?
Go on.
well, now I got all this space in my townhouse. No, I got asked to videotape this band. I did a documentary a couple of years ago called "The Rock and Roll Kid,"
Hookers at the Point.
about a little 12-year-old boy who was a rock star and toured and blah 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 blah.
And now
Anyway,
he's
now
dead
he's
in a puddle of
16.
his own sick.
And a roadside memorial. He's now he's 16. He's got a band, and I still keep in touch with the family, so they want me to come out and videotape the band because they want to put together a promotional DVD.
You know, it's enough. I have to stare at the Rock and Roll Kid poster, and now you're going to tell a story about him.
Yes, I am.
Oh,
So I say, sure, I'll come out. I haven't seen you guys for a few months. I'll come out and see the band, and I'll videotape it. Great.
I'll bring some smoked Escalar.
So can you? But they want to do like a 4-camera shoot because they want it to be really cool and have all this stuff. And I borrow some cameras from a buddy and I put them on tripods and all this kind of stuff.
And they're paying top dollar.
No, they're going to pay me.
Oh, they are.
They're gonna
okay.
pay me.
Okay.
all the guitar picks you can
Because
haul.
this is the thing. Normally I go out there with my camera, I shoot them. I don't get paid anything. I'm just doing it as a favor. But then they don't use it because the band was off that night. So I said, look,
Just
I'm
like
really-
psychics.
Seriously, I can't do this all the time.
Yeah.
But then they also arrange, sort of thinking to do me a favor.
For a happy ending.
No, they're arranging so that the other bands that are playing that night, they're arranging for me to videotape all of them
Oh, God.
No.
to get paid by those guys too to make it worth my
Yeah,
while to
Right.
come out.
But collecting the money's up to you, right?
Yeah, because rock bands have all
How
that extra
awkward is
money.
that?
Oh, no.
So then you end up looking like some kind of chiseling opportunist.
well, no,
So-
they made an arrangement.
No, I'm just telling you that's what you look like.
So they make an arrangement that I would come out and videotape all the bands. So then
Right.
I get to spend my Saturday night spending 6 hours videotaping rock band.
Also known as partying.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
partying.
I'm not partying at all.
But what made it worthwhile was the moment when the second band came out, because they were one of them bands that were they were older than us.
Oh, awesome.
And they were playing really heavy duty. They kind of sounded like a halfway between The Clash and Motorhead.
Yeah.
Weird.
And they were saying that this first song's called Atheist.
Was that Electric Eye?
What?
Was the band called Electric Eye?
No.
Go on.
Anyway.
Bob's got, or
There's
Doug's
no
got
follow-up information to that question.
You were just asking.
Doug's got a secret project.
So I... Thank God that name's not taken. But what was awesome was, about halfway through the set of this terrible band, they introduced this next song, and they sang a cover of...
Wait, they were terrible? That's shocking.
Yeah, they were terrible.
That is surprising.
They do a cover of... what's that song called?
I'll tell my Electric Eye story if I
Just
have
a second. Doesn't matter. They do this cover, and it's terrible. Then they introduced the next song, and the drummer was one of those guys, and I'm not making any
No.
slight against you, George.
Feel free to generalize.
I'm just saying.
I've probably done it.
The drummer is in the back. He's got his shirt off. He's full of tats. He's the youngest in the band. He's earnest as all get out. And so they introduce this next song, and then they say, he goes, "This next song is a song about, heartache or something like that." And then the drummer pipes up immediately, "I wrote it." And the lead singer goes, "Yeah, it was written by our drummer Jerry or whatever, and blah blah blah. I wrote the music too."
Oh, that's awesome.
I work in an auto wrecking yard.
Yeah. And I just started going, "Oh man, just pull back, right?
I said Dave should wear those pants as well.
Just pull back on that."
Love me.
I make my own drumsticks.
It's a lame anecdote, but I just love watching other people suffer.
It's not lame. Because there's something about the people who the people who persist, who don't get it. Like, dudes, you're not,
Yeah,
you're
try and have fun with
you're
it. Stop
45 years
striving.
old. And,
Well, also, you're there playing drums. Let your work speak for itself. You don't need to sell us on it.
Yeah.
We're here. We're watching you, whether we like it or not. Just do your best. Don't. You can't. You're not going to give it that extra 2% by telling us how great you are.
Yeah, it's like the first band that came out. Their music was kind of ska, rock, metal, Rushish sort of stuff.
Right.
And I thought they're going nowhere, but they were having a blast. They were just rocking and having a good time, and the music was
self-awareness
listenable,
kills it.
Yeah. I wouldn't buy the album. I wouldn't go to my way to see them.
I wouldn't pull them out
I
of
had
a burning
I had
bus.
nothing bad to say about. I got something about.
I didn't wish them any specific harm.
That's right.
But the second band was so full of we're so gonna totally make it this time.
Yeah. This is our big break. There's 4 camera here. This
We
is
just
it.
released our new CD, which means you went to Future Shop and you bought 100 CDs. Like, it doesn't mean anything anymore. It meant something 20 years ago. Yeah. Bob, a couple of years ago, you had a rap party for that TV pilot that you made.
Yes,
and I was not invited.
It was a restaurant full of people, loud as all get out, tons of people, lots of drinks, people having a party. It was awesome, and there was apparently a band there, and they were playing their little hearts out. And 2 hours into the evening, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a little break. Oh yeah, there's a band. We are Electric Eye.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yes.
Is that what that noise was?
I don't even.
Yeah.
We didn't
Good
actually.
for you, Electric Eye. And these were 50-year-old dudes who've been playing in a garage since they were 12.
Yep.
And they were just so hard trying.
We're playing the shit out of this rap party for these high-level television
That's right.
producers,
Absolutely.
and movie stars, etc., etc.
And don't get me wrong, everybody, have your hobby, do whatever, but woo.
The key is, yeah. Well, I think you have to impress people indirectly. You can't just come right out and say we're awesome. Mm-hmm. We'll judge that.
Yeah, exactly.
How about I make that call?
I don't know if it's just the way my mind works, but any band I've ever been in, I can't believe that people show up to watch them. It's like, really? You know,
right.
if you guys have cable, there's tons of awesome shit on right now. And you're here. Like, why are you here?
Sure, the one guy's got a big horn, but the rest of us got nothing.
Well, I was at a party in Vancouver the other night, and I ran across two people who knew me from before, and they know the band I'm in now.
Your life as a gay hustler?
You are so, and they were laying it on pretty thick, and I don't buy it. Like, no, I'm not. You know who's really good?
Yeah.
The guy from Rush. I'm okay,
Yeah.
But
look,
and these guys
song-
are way better musicians than I am. Like the drummer he's an excellent drummer. He's much better than I am.
I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Bob.
But does he have the chestnut locks?
No, he doesn't.
Well, there you go.
Well, skating by on my looks once again.
Yesterday, funny enough, I hopped into my car, and on the radio was Tom Sawyer by Rush. Speaking of Rush, and awesome drummers, and Neil Peart shut the front door. It's awesome.
Yeah, fate took care of him, though. Nice, didn't it?
Everything's going great. Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Episode
they're all dead.
6.
Yeah.
Is that 6?
All dead.
Somewhere around there.
When you say
balance of the
episode
scales of
6,
the universe
it's
balance out.
I remember exactly where I was. Like, it's like the Kennedy assassination is every Speedway Squad episode, because I don't know what number it was or what you said, but I know
If we
exactly
could only
where I was
aspire.
and when it happened. I was parking at Mountain Equipment Co-op, and you guys were going off about Neil Peart, and it was, I remember exactly the thing. Anyway, so, and it occurred to me, because I was a very, very brief
Teenage werewolf
spell of percussion in my life. I had a drum set, and I played in the band for a couple of years, but I never actually did it.
Well, what kind of kit you have?
I don't know. It was white.
One of those.
But I remember going to lessons, and the guy, I'm a beginner drummer, and he just sends me home with, like, Tom Sawyer.
Oh,
That's the song he wants me to practice for next week. And I was listening to it yesterday, thinking, what a jackass! I'm 12 years old. What the fuck do you think I'm going to do with this?
You know how I learned Tom Sawyer? By listening to it 60 times in a row, and like in little sections.
Yeah.
And still, I can play it along if it's on the radio.
Yeah.
I can't. You must have just wanted to kick that guy in the ass.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or feed him some Whaloo.
So then I just didn't do it.
Well, and Bob was doing trumpet, and he wanted to do Flight of the Bumblebee.
That's after I have the Whaloo.
Oh, grilled fish.
So here's a headline about me in 20 years.
This is from the province. It says, arsenal of 400 weapons found.
Where did they find it?
In Strasbourg, France.
I'll summarize.
Oh, shit. Guess I'm not getting my deposit back.
This guy got found with a stash of weapons, lived with his mother. He had, like, grenades,
Shocker!
C4. I can't remember how they caught him. But anyway,
I say again, in France, they say grenades.
Yeah. He was kooky. He had, like, specialized, like, special forces weapons and things. And the funny stuff is he'd been arrested 20 years earlier for accidentally discharging a firearm at the gendarme. So they'd arrested him, confiscated all his weapons 20 years ago, and then he got busted on the same thing 20 years later.
That's why the headline didn't read "Arsenal of 1,200 Weapons Found."
Yeah. So well done. Apparently, in France they are kind of on the liberal side.
Yeah,
of the law.
No kidding.
Chris, I'm a little bit unilluminated, other than by the hints and whispers on that. What's that thing called? Fatcha-book?
I think Hints and Whispers was a Rush album.
So
was that like that other one, Yautube?
Yes, it's all true.
Yautube.
So I understand.
Mia Spatze.
That's my favorite one.
I love a little Mia Spatze.
Have you come into a firearm lately?
Not a firearm, but a
pile of
facsimile. Yes,
a facsimile thereof.
Yeah. Well, Jordy. Friend and confidant.
I drop by for coffee at Chris's studio occasionally when I'm supposed to be working. Sorry, Dad. And he always shows me his latest acquisitions.
If your father's listening, that's not the worst thing you've said.
Yeah, that time I said he was dead to me, that was bad.
Or found him strangely attractive.
Anyway, I found an airsoft that is the Holy Grail and the Ark of the Covenant and the True Cross all mixed into one amazing, just masturbatory halo.
It's the Turin shroud of revolvers.
Yeah, exactly.
You said something about 6 shots and cracking an engine block.
5 rounds.
Oh, five.
Cracking an engine block. So yeah. Anyway, it's not a very interesting story.
So that's
I'll
actually
tell you
like 17% less effective than the one I described.
Yeah, but okay. Here's the story. For a painting, I was going to have to fake a picture. I was going to use a different airsoft and paint in another one. This is really uninteresting, by the way.
We're raptured.
We'll add some effects, some bedding music. That'll probably help. Mm-hmm. Let's put some
what's
Green Berets or something.
Yeah, okay.
That's not what. Anyway, or something from Dirty Harry. We all know the theme from Dirty Harry.
We could all just sing
Dirty
it along.
Harry, he's hairy, he's not
so dirty.
That's right. His hygiene is subpar.
His real name is Harold, and he wasn't born in San Francisco. He's from the Midwest.
He's from Oakland.
So, to sum up, you got a gun. It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's a copy of the world's most powerful production handgun, the Smith & Wesson 500. And it looks, from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, when Bob Hoskins opens that box and he has a cartoon gun in there, and he has the cartoon bullets, and this is enormous, huge blue mountain
like
of
a
gun.
pistol grip built for like the Green Giant.
Yeah. So this gun is it's a handgun and it's 15 inches long. It's enormous. It's huge.
Wow.
No
I was
going to
say,
down your pants.
every time I come over to your place, I feel like that scene in Taxi Driver where he goes to the hotel room.
Yeah.
Chris is laying out all the weapons. This is a 5-shot python.
Yeah,
That's
so-
nice. I'll take that.
This will tell you how crazy. If everybody's listening, go to YouTube and just type in Smith & Wesson 500 Magnum, and you'll see.
That'll explain everything.
It'll show you the Viagra-like abilities of this gun.
That sounds like trouble.
So I drove all the way into New Westminster, and let's all guess who was selling it.
What 12-year-old boy?
Yeah.
Bingo. So I go to the apartment. He's in New West. He comes out of the fucking. I buzz the thing, and he just got home from school. He's wearing a private school uniform.
My parents bought it for my 12th birthday, but now I want a new iPod, so I have to sell it.
Yeah.
It's like a scene from Rushmore.
He's like 6 foot tall in a beanpole, and he's wearing he's got
that's rich.
a blue sweater vest and with a big crest on it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to jail.
This pistol's like a good varmint gun if your varmints are driving Humvees.
Yeah, it's made for ostensibly for hunting. What? But I mean, it's literally a $2,000 novelty.
Oh yeah.
Now,
that can kill people.
Hunting police at close range.
Yeah. They could fire through 20 corporals at one time.
Is that the kind of thing that they would use? Like, I know that
To flip a car? Yes.
Yes, yes, absolutely. To perhaps propel a space station. No, but they,
Absolutely.
To pry up a large concrete block.
when you fish for halibut, I've heard tell that these beasts are giant and such, and you have to shoot them dead. So often they have a handgun on board, a serious handgun.
No kidding.
And they just blast the crap out of it, or selectively blast it.
And if my co-sailor Eddie happens to get in the way, what are you going to do?
He should know better.
He goes right over the side. Nobody knows any different. Right. Where's Eddie? Who the fuck's Eddie?
He's feeding the mackerel.
This ain't Dangerous Catch or whatever the fuck that show is.
Perfect Storm?
I'm going to cap your motherfucking ass.
Ain't gonna go shoot no crabbies.
I'm going to swim down there and kick their ass.
I think they should make a reality show like Dangerous, Deadliest Catch, but it's about something that's not deadly at all. Make guys that work in the Q-tip factory or something. I got to package 300 boxes of Q-tips.
The
today.
world's most dangerous jobs.
When we come back after the break, will Rodney meet his quota for the Q-tips?
Well, I
He's
had
walking through the lunchroom and bumps into somebody, and it's like, dun, 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 dun.
Ed works
paid
in the ceiling.
$1.25 for that iced tea, and he almost knocked it over.
So along that line, if you were to make a reality show that didn't sort of live up to the expectations, what about like The Bachelorette for the ample-sized woman,
Yeah, they've got that coming up.
which is actually on TV?
Yeah. I think it's called More to Love.
It's called More to Love.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, it's actually The Bachelor. Because it's one... I get confused.
I thought it was called Bachelosaurus.
I don't know. There's like a single guy and a bunch of ample chicks.
Plus-sized.
Anyway, so More to Love coming soon. They're really jumping El Charco.
I have a reality show that's a spin on a show that's already out there. You remember that show, Pimp My Ride?
Yeah.
I wanted to do a version called Improve My Vehicle. Where you take...
marginally improved.
Yeah, like you take someone's 86 Honda Civic, right?
redo
the stock paint job, repack the CV joints, put some all seasons on there.
New format.
Just because the look on the person's face when they got it back, and it's like a mint condition shit box. They'd have to do all the close-ups. You'd have to get some rapper guy to, That's right. These are the stock headlights. You can see 500 meters with these mofos.
We totally steam cleaned this upholstery.
The original plaid was unavailable, so we went with basic gray. And a pine tree to finish it off.
That's awesome.
You can drive to your job in Walmart in style.
Oh.
Or something thriftily resembling style. So watch for it on Gordy TV.
Or they could have my new idea, Bell Tower Psycho.
You never know when he's going to turn up.
It's kind of like Just for Laughs.
Jump on the Bell Tower Psycho! Am
You
I
just
on
won
TV?
$1 million!
This guy comes out and points. Your arm's bleeding profusely.
That's right.
Oh,
But they
yay.
get free T-shirts, just like in Girls Gone Wild. Right?
Awesome.
I got a sucking chest wound from Bell Tower Psycho. Did you know there are over 600 bell towers in the United States?
Who's the next Charles Whitman?
That's right.
Whom I already mentioned once before.
Who's the next laid-off marksman?
Who's the next Vietnam vet with a steel plate in his head, an axe to grind?
Hey, here's a question. Speaking of steel plate, guy at work breaks his arm motorbiking.
Gets a steel plate in his head.
No.
Why?
Yeah. And they didn't even put it inside. They just
It's like riveted right
they
on the
just
top.
stuck it on his head like a skull cap and just started pumping screws into it. Looks kind of freaky. But he breaks his arm, and he's got a huge stitch in his arm, like a big scar from shoulder to elbow.
Yeah.
And what had happened was he snapped it clean in half. It was spun completely around.
Ooh, wow.
Breadstick.
So they spun it back into place and kind of fudged it around and then put
It was
in
nice of them not to just let it heal as it was.
Then they put it in a sling for 3 months. And then when they took all the casting and everything off, it had healed wrong. And it was all angled and twisted and stuff.
Right.
So they had to, of course, re-break it,
Right.
cut them open, operate, put a steel plate in, seal them all up, make it all good.
Well, then what? Sorry, Bob. When they re-break it, do they just get out a 8-pound mallet and just say, put a leather chew toy in his mouth?
Aluminium bat.
My question to you, Doug.
The OR Slugger.
My question to you, Doug, is why wouldn't they just put a plate in it to begin with?
Well, here's the thing, Bob. I'm not an orthopedic surgeon, but I know a couple of things. I play a doctor on television. The humerus fracture is really quite a very favorable fracture. It often heals just darn fine on its own.
It's no boxer break, let me
And
tell you that.
so, usually that's the treatment is they just sling it and off you go, and it works out just fine.
Oh, so this was an anomaly.
So it was just one of those things that didn't work out well. So
I'm still incensed. I just want to say
I
that.
think you should write your congressperson, MLA,
These
and
HMOs.
HMO.
Do you know how many blogs I'm going to start about this?
Communism?
None. Not one blog will I start.
So speaking of mallets, I just read a story. I'm reading a book called Enter the Babylon System, which is about gun culture in hip-hop and the rest of the world. So the guy, Anton Glock, who invented the Glock pistol
I was
in
going to say, let me
1983.
guess. I can guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bob in the front?
Glock. He invented the Glock.
Yes. Bing, bing. So I guess in 1999, he'd had a business partner who'd been with him for 15 years. I think his name was Ewart. And I guess the Ewart guy had been discovered embezzling like great amounts of money. So he didn't know if Glock knew or not, but he sort of knew. So I guess he came up with some scheme. Hey, Anton, you should see this crazy car that's in the parkade. So, there's this wild Ferrari or whatever. You got to come and see it.
Does this go along back to our story about how to lure a guy into the woods to kill them?
Well, it's pretty fucking lame, and it gets lamer.
That's the guy you want to piss off, a weapons designer.
He drags Anton Glock, inventor of the Glock pistol, to the parking garage.
A light pistol that anyone can use.
He's got an
instantly.
Yeah, he's got an ex-Special Forces guy, and this is in Austria, hiding behind a car. The guy runs out to assassinate him with a rubber mallet.
What the?
He hits the guy. He hits Anton Glock in the back of the head with a rubber mallet. You're expecting this amazing, irony, right?
I was going to say maybe a garrote that came out of the watch.
Yeah, most successful gun designer, in the late 20th century. Maybe he gets killed with his own gun.
Oh, the irony.
Yeah, I know. Guy hits him with a fucking rubber mallet.
Not ironic.
Ewart punks off because it's not working. Anton Glock fucking kicks the shit out of the dude. He's 70 years old.
What, the Special Forces?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well,
And the
Anton Glock
Special
is
Forces
70.
guy was a triple amputee.
He accidentally hired a Special Olympics guy.
Special. Oh, I
Yeah.
Oh.
Wrong Rolodex item.
Yeah. You hire the guy who brings the rubber mallet to the assassination.
You said you could kill with anything. Anything you said.
I just couldn't believe it because I just knew. I had the whole story planned out. Oh, my God, he's going to get shot with his own gun.
Yeah.
Not even close.
That's awesome.
You can't even make that shit up.
How'd that end then? He beat the shit out of this guy and
Beat the shit out of the guy, and they got arrested, and the dudes and both of the guys are in jail. And he's still making mountains of money on the.
Every now and then he phones over to the other prison in Starnberg. Rubber mallet, really? Sure? That was the plan, huh?
Why didn't you try to hit me with some Edelweiss, huh? Would have been just as effective, you stupid kraut.
I'm going to make a taser that doesn't work and call it the mallet model, and send you one for free every Christmas. So anyway, if you have our firearms company, it'd be a good idea to start packing some of your own product. Not that he came out too sad in that story. Here's to Anton Glock.
It's not the first time I've hoisted one to Anton Glock.
Well, on that note, for Jordan, for Chris, for me, and for my brother Doug, this was Speedway Squad.
When I'm drinking alone in my bomb shelter.